So yeah, this is my final review presentation. It starts with my basic introduction, and this was my project basically to uncover the opportunity.
In an organization that is like self-driven, there is nobody to mentor you or guide you. Are there? How do you make the connection over there? This question is from I am Calcutta.
Right. इंटेंट एक सिंगल वर्ड आंसर है. आप अगर इंटेंट दिखाओगे काम करने का, पीपीओ लेने का.
And the next question is next two three questions is from I am Slow. That is, uh, what do they expect? What do company expect from intern in this just 2 months of internship? And what do they expect and how they convert it in a PPO?
So this also I did mention. So इन 2 महीनों में आप कोई लेजेंडरी रिजल्ट नहीं दे सकते.
Do intern have really have to talk with the company before and like I need a PPO, or they should wait for it? What should a student focus on in the second year? What should be their priority? That's the question from I am Sambalpur.
Right. So
Hello everyone and welcome to the brand new series of PPO Gyan with GIBS. And here we have Amit Chattopadhyay with us. He's from SIBM Pune, 24 batch. He just passed out from SIBM Pune, and he secured PPO from GSK Pharma. And today we're gonna deal into his experience. What are the strategy? What are the challenges that he faced while his internship of 2 months in GSK Pharma? And we get to know from the first hand. Actually, Amit is going to tell us about what are the challenges that he have faced, how he have dealt with, how he have built a network over there. So we have a list of questions from all the some of the IIMs candidate as well, first year students. So we are also going to discuss about those things as well here. So I welcome you, Amit, in this video of PPO Gyan. So please tell us about yourself and a little bit of your educational background and family background as well.
hi Anand, thank you for calling me on this series. So coming to my background, I completed my BTech in mechanical engineering from NIT Kurukshetra in 2019. Post that, I was working for 3 years at a IT consulting firm called Falcon Minds Consulting Limited in Noida. After that, I joined my MBA in marketing at SIBM Pune in 2022, and I did an internship, my summer internship at GlaxoSmithKline GSK Pharmaceuticals, and I was offered a PPO from there. And right now, I have completed my MBA, the 2 years at SIBM Pune, and I am at home. And I'll be joining GSK very soon in the next 1-2 months.
Yes, and now tell us about what kind of challenges a student can face while during their internship, and how they approach to solve those challenges. And if you can give an example from your experience, that what are the challenges that you faced and how you dealt with it.
Right. So marketing internships revolve mostly around primary and secondary research. So while doing primary research, you are in the market for the first time, mostly being a fresher or even being someone from a different background. So वो market में जाके first time interact करना with different people from that different background जिससे आप नहीं belong करते हो is one of the biggest challenges that someone faces. So that was the most important part. Also involving various people from the organization. क्योंकि the people who are there in the organization are not really benefiting from your project, right? It is you who are benefiting by delivering your project properly. So it is your responsibility how you are able to involve as many people from the organization. So these are the few most important challenges which I also faced. But yes, I was able to communicate with a lot of people in the early GSK office. They were very open. And in the first day itself, there was a talk from the MD, Bhushan Aksharkar, Mr. Bhushan Aksharkar, who also told us that my door is always open. You can always come in and interact with us anytime. So not just him, but any of the senior leaders from the team were always open to us responding to our queries and doubts. But yes, then again, you should also be coming up with good queries after a good research, so that they get to know कि हाँ आपने भी काम किया है, right?
Yeah, actually, I mean, don't just there those are open, but don't just go empty-handed. At least have something on your side to back up your questions. That's very good. And tell us about what skills or quality do you believe that is crucial for any intern to make a successful internship?
Right. So soft skills is the major part, So in these 2 months, the projects that you will get, the result that you will come up from these projects, no, it won't be some legendary outcome, right? You won't give an insight that they don't know after working for 20 years in that company. You just spent 2 months. So the way how you work, the approach that you put in, the proactiveness that you show, or let's say the discipline that you show in your communication or the work is the main key part.
Yeah, actually, I mean, the communication is very much important. If you have, proper communication, not in terms of just like Hindi में ही बात करो, English में ही बात करो. That's not a part of communication. That's a mode of communication. So you should know that how to structure your thoughts, how to put your questions in front of them so that they get to know what the problem that you're feeling. That's a very, strong point that you mentioned actually. And tell us, if somebody wants to maintain a strong relationship with the colleagues or supervisor, so how should one, approach their colleagues or supervisor to make a strong networking, like connection?
Right. So from day negative itself, when I got the project charter and I did not reach the office, I did some research on what the project meant for me, what were the deliverables for me. I sent a one-pager document of what I wanted to do in the project to my guide and mentor. That created a first impression. When I reached the office, day one itself, I met my guide and mentor. I discussed the projects. So me coming from a mechanical background had no experience in the pharmaceutical industry. There was a lot to learn, know, everything was new to me. So the first
Yeah.
1 week was spent entirely on learning and reading the things about the company, the project, the medicine that I was working on, the medicine that treated what the disease. So about the disease that it treated and every such thing. Also,
Yeah.
yeah. So one thing which I would want to mention is I did make a work tracker. So it was a daily work tracker of the 8 weeks from day one to day last, and I used to send the updates of those work tracker to my guide and mentor every week. So that helped, I guess.
Yeah, actually, I mean, you have also showed me your work tracker actually, and
Right.
that's when I realized that how important it is. And since that day, whenever I get an opportunity to meet with my juniors, I have suggested every single one of them that make a work tracker so that you would have something in your hand to show them that these are the works that I've done from the day one, and if possible, create it from the day zero or day
Right.
minus if possible. That's very good. And it is about, is there any particular achievements or contribution, during your internship that you have made and you think that, that's why I stand out?
Yes, so something happened. So my project और जितने भी लोग थे जीएसके में जिनका भी प्रोजेक्ट था, एक बहुत इंपॉर्टेंट पार्ट था मीटिंग द डॉक्टर्स, मीटिंग द एचसीपीज एंड गेटिंग देयर रिस्पॉन्सेज through the questionnaires or surveys or even interacting with them. So mostly all of us were revolving around कि एक ABM या एरिया बिजनेस मैनेजर जो उस एरिया को ऑलरेडी हैंडल करता है, उसके साथ वी गो फॉर अ शैडो एंड देन वी इंटरेक्ट विद देम. सो वो उसमें क्या हो रहा था कि द जीएसके ब्रांड वाज कमिंग in between your interaction, and that made you look like a, let's say, representative or a person from the company. But the research needs to be very, basic, which it should not be
Yeah,
biased.
but
So
yeah,
uske liye what I did was, which I guess made me stand out, was I did not used to go with the ABMs. I had a basic idea कि मुझे कौन से हॉस्पिटल में जाना है, मुझे किससे मिलना है, किस टाइम पे जाना चाहिए कि उनके पास टाइम हो. But I went alone. I kind of made my identity as a student, that I'm doing a research project and this is my questionnaire. I would like your time for 2 minutes. I did not show myself that I am working at GSK and I am doing this research. So I guess that made me get a lot of responses more than my peers.
yeah, actually, I mean, you have like more than 100 or something responses that you have,
Right, right.
and it really, you had a lot of data. I've seen your PPT actually, and there was a huge amount of data and huge amount of research you have done it, and that's the result of, doing so much of research. The result is in front of you as PPO. And now, see what happens that in the entire 2 months of working period, our guides and mentors, they are always busy in their own work. So how did you, manage to seek the active feedbacks from your mentors? Since it's a corporate world, everybody have a number of things to do. So how did you, manage to take their valuable time and their feedback as well?
Very true. So when I'll show you the PPT also at the end, you will see that there are a lot of stakeholders which I interacted with, almost maybe 15, 20 people who I interacted with. The assigned guide and mentor were the people who knew about the project, right? So they are meant to help you. They know what the project is about. But then again, the project revolves around various aspects. You need a lot of data for the secondary research part. So there was a
Yeah.
complete data team at GSK, which you also know Hitesh sir led. So interacting with them gave a very good edge. They gave the accurate data. Being building a good rapport with the data team helped me a lot. Also, there were people who were from the scientific team who helped me design the questionnaire in a way that the doctor finds it scientifically accurate. So me coming from an engineering background would have designed some questions जो doctor को सही नहीं लगता. या वो फिगर आउट कर लेता कि आप कुछ उल्टा कर रहे हो या नॉट द राइट थिंग विच यू आर सेइंग. तो वो
Yeah.
साइंटिफिक पीपल, the people from the science department also help a lot in designing accurate questions, in designing scientifically deep questions, those things. Taking time from the guide and mentor regularly is an important part. So they know about the project and they'll help you directly in telling you what the next step is. But then again, if you don't come up,
Yeah, yeah.
if you don't
Please.
come up with the facts that मैंने कल ये किया है and मैं कल ये करना चाहता हूँ, तो वो भी उतना input नहीं देंगे.
Yes.
That is one part.
Yeah, actually, I mean, if you are seeking actively feedback, active feedback if you're seeking, so make sure to let them know that these are the steps that you have taken, so that they feel an urge to help you in a, or a nudge to nudge you in a right direction. So that's going to be an important step actually. And on the, we have already discussed about the, the, but still tell us about, any networking strategy or initiative that you have, used over there to build a network of your own in the GSK. Have you
So
ever tried that?
first thing would be interacting with as many people as you can, not just the co-interns that you have. In fact, interacting with the co-interns that you have also helps a lot. Their guides, their mentors, वो क्या बता रहे हैं, उनके प्रोजेक्ट में क्या स्पेसिफिक है, किसी और के प्रोजेक्ट में उन्होंने अगर कोई स्टेप लिया हो जो आपके प्रोजेक्ट में भी हेल्प करे, आप वो भी कीजिए. लाइफ इज टू शॉर्ट टू लर्न फ्रॉम जस्ट योर मिस्टेक्स, राइट? सो आप बाकियों की गलतियों से भी सीखिए. फर्स्ट थिंग वुड बी दैट. एंड सेकंड वुड बी, अगर if you are able to showcase what you did in the last week properly, no, they will 100% tell you what to do in the next week. If you are not able to showcase your work properly, even if you didn't do a lot, it is always recommended to show more than what you did.
Yeah, actually, I mean, uh, whenever you are going up for networking or something like that, just you have like 10 to 20 people if you have in your internship circle. So make sure to know each one of them. That's again to build an network of your own. If you can, you are the live example of it actually. I mean, we interacted with each other in the GSK, and now we are doing this series. Amit is here with us. So whenever or whomever you are gonna interact with, make sure to build a connection with them. Have their number. If you need any help, just go and call them. I mean, everybody is there to help you, even after completing your internship. You can see the live example with us, Amit, here. So now on the part, that everybody is waiting, that how PPO winning PPT looks like. So would you be, kind enough to share your PPT with us? And on that part, also tell us about your, your primary responsibilities and key project title, so that everybody have an idea about what the project was.
Right, right, right. One small thing which I missed in the last question, I would say, is interacting with your seniors, right? So the last year people who got a PPO, or last year people who have been working, not just last to last, आपके कॉलेज से जो लोग उस कंपनी में काम कर रहे हैं, उन लोगों से भी इंटरेक्ट करने से बहुत हेल्प मिलता है. दे
Yes,
गाइड यू
yes.
वेरी वेल. एंड इनफैक्ट जीएसके में मतलब दे डू इट ऑल्सो, दे डू इट वेरी विलिंगली. ऐसा भी नहीं है कि they have their own tasks to do, but if you properly do tell them what you mean to do, they will help you. So
Yeah, actually.
yes, I'll show up some of the documents. So this is the weekly work tracker which I was speaking of, the daily
Yes.
work that I did. All of us, all of you, I would recommend to do this. This helps a lot. So they get to know कि आपने क्या किया है and आप कितने अच्छे से अपने काम को report कर रहे हो. This is one part. Another thing is my project had a lot of field visits. So I had
Yes.
made a multi-city field visit report also about the hospitals that I visited, about the locations that I went, about the types of doctors that I met, and all these things. I visited around 5 cities: Chennai, Kolkata, and all those places, Pune, Mumbai, and Delhi. So I had made what all places did I go and what all people did I meet there. These were the two reports which I would always recommend to marketing people, क्योंकि बहुत सारा field visit होगा and आप किसी और सिटी में होंगे, आपके गाइड ऑफिस में होंगे, दे विल नॉट नो कि आप क्या कर रहे होगे उस दिन. अगर आप रिपोर्ट सही से नहीं करते हो तो मे बी दे वुड थिंक दैट you wasted your day or something like that. So yeah, this is my final review presentation. It starts with my basic introduction, and this was my project basically to uncover the opportunity post pricing in TBACT at Uncovered Specialty. What it means was TBACT में एक main molecule होता है म्यूपेरोसिन. म्यूपेरोसिन मॉलिक्यूल को नेशनल लिस्ट ऑफ एसेंशियल मेडिसिन में इंक्लूड करा गया था इस साल में, लास्ट ईयर में. तो
Yeah.
टीबैक्ट ऑइंटमेंट का प्राइस घट गया था एंड वी नीडेड टू ड्राइव sales volumes to keep the top line constant or even increase the top line. दैट वाज माय प्रोजेक्ट। तो
Yes.
इसका एक कोर पार्ट ये था कि टीबैट ऑलरेडी मार्केट लीडर था विद पीडियाट्रिशियंस, बट
Yeah.
there was a market for TBAC with surgeons, right?
Yeah.
Surgeons including general surgeons, ENT surgeons, orthopedic surgeons, and many more. So my project was basically opportunity mapping कि वहां पे कितना अपॉर्चुनिटी है सर्जन्स के साथ कि हम TBAC को उनके लिए मार्केट करें या नहीं करें, और किसको
Yes.
करें और कैसे रीच करें मार्केटिंग में डॉक्टर को, ये था। सो दिस वाज द एंटायर 8 week थिंग दैट वी डिड। फर्स्ट वीक वेंट विथ defining the problem only. Second week was a lot of learning and designing the research instrument, that was the questionnaire.
Yeah.
Third was a lot of secondary data crunching, not even crunching I would say, इस टाइम पे gathering the secondary data, क्योंकि डेटा इतना
Yes.
ज्यादा skewed है, कितना सारा डेटा है, कौन देगा, कहाँ से आएगा, क्या पार्ट हमारे लिए काम का है, वो सारी चीजें फिगर आउट करना। फोर्थ वाज व्हेन द क्वेश्चनर वाज डिजाइंड, I went for the pilot primary response collection in Mumbai itself, in a few hospitals nearby from the Worli office. When the
Yeah.
questionnaire was set up and responses आ रहे थे, then I went for my multi-city cross
Yeah.
geographical data collection in the 5 cities as I just mentioned. So after returning, we did a lot of data analysis because बहुत सारा डेटा
Yes.
कलेक्ट हो चुका था, प्राइमरी भी एंड सेकेंडरी भी। प्राइमरी और सेकेंडरी में जो चीजें मैप हो रही थी या रिलेट हो रही थी, उनसे ही इनसाइट्स और रिकमेंडेशंस बने, and then the
Yes.
opportunity was uncovered. This was the entire 8 weeks system that we followed.
Yes.
This was basically about the ointment that I was working upon. Then
Yes.
again, this was the patient doctor journey कि वो ointment कहाँ पे और कब use होता है. If for a layman term, let's say there is a surgery, let's say a C-section surgery for a mother delivering a baby. So
Yeah.
after the delivery, the stitches that happen after a C-section surgery, वहां पे stitches में infection रोकने के लिए ये ointment काम आता है। तो ये
Yes.
उसका एक जर्नी था कि कैसे हम मिलते हैं, कैसे ointment एक्चुअली काम आता है
Yes.
उन इन्फेक्शंस को रोकने के लिए। ये हमारा मार्केट साइज था। ये दिस म्यूपिरोसिन कॉम्पिटिटर्स इज द आर द कॉम्पिटिटर्स जिसमें म्यूपिरोसिन यूज होता है बट हमारे ब्रांड के नहीं है। पॉविडोन
Okay.
आइडिन इज बीटाडीन। बीटाडीन पूरे मार्केट में ऑलरेडी छाया हुआ था, विच इज आर बिगेस्ट कॉम्पिटिटर, एंड टीबैक,
Yes.
दिस इज आर मार्केट साइज।
Yes.
These are some secondary data statistics that we covered from the analysis from the secondary data.
Yes.
So from here we figured out कि जो second prescriptions आ रहे हैं from doctors of this medicine T-backed, इसका ऑलमोस्ट 1/3 30% इन सर्जन्स के थ्रू ही आ रहा है। वो सर्जन्स कौन से थे? जनरल सर्जन्स, गायनी सर्जन्स, ईएनटी सर्जन्स और ऑर्थो सर्जन्स। तो इसलिए ये प्रोजेक्ट इंपॉर्टेंट था। ये समझना बहुत जरूरी है आई वुड से कि आप प्रोजेक्ट कर क्यों रहे हो, क्यों इंपॉर्टेंट है
Yes.
आपके लिए और ऑर्गेनाइजेशन के लिए भी।
Yes.
देन ये क्वेश्चन का रिसर्च इंस्ट्रूमेंट डिजाइन था कि कहाँ पे टीबैक यूज हो रहा है, ऑपरेशन हो रहा है तो उसमें स्टिच लग रहा है कि नहीं लग रहा है, लग रहा है तो क्या ओरल मेडिसिन दे रहे हैं या ऑइंटमेंट दे रहे हैं, ऑइंटमेंट दे रहे
Yes.
हैं तो क्या म्यूपिरोसिन वाला दे रहे हैं या कुछ और दे रहे हैं, एंड थिंग्स लाइक दैट कि कैसे
Yes.
हम ऊपर से नीचे तक आ पाए, टॉप टू बॉटम अप्रोच, कि हु आर एक्चुअली प्रिस्क्राइबिंग दिस मेडिसिन टीबैक एंड किसको प्रिस्क्राइब हो रहा है ये इस चीज के लिए। देन ये क्वेश्चनर था। सो आई हैड मेड अराउंड 6 different questionnaires for general surgeons, orthopedic surgeons, gynae, ENT, and nurses and pharmacists. Then I initially went for the pilot survey, as I just said, in Mumbai.
Yes.
ये कुछ हॉस्पिटल्स थे जहाँ पे मैंने विजिट किया था, and then I went for my 5 city tour where I visited all these hospitals and across these 5 cities. So I interacted with almost 226 HCPs across 5 cities and 42 healthcare institutions. And these are the differentiations. What all kinds of doctors did I meet? So these are then the responses and the analysis that we did कि general surgeons के लिए कितना जरूरी है TBAC. And so this is basically, I would say, mapping the primary responses. Left hand पे we can see this is from the primary responses, and right
Yes.
hand पे we can see the secondary research का analysis. अगर primary और secondary map हो रहा है तो I would say कि opportunity है, ऐसा करके I moved ahead. Similar thing I did for the other surgeons, for orthopedic as well and for ENT surgeons as well. And this is for plastic surgeons, nurses and pharmacists. So this one slide I would say made a lot of difference because इन तीनों से मिलना मेरे गाइड और बडी ने बस सजेस्ट किया था, बोला नहीं था कि
Okay.
मिलना है। बट मैं था ही एक हॉस्पिटल में, अगर मुझे कोई डॉक्टर मिल रहा था, नर्स मिल रहा था जो इंटरेक्ट कर रहा था, तो आई डिड इंटरेक्ट विद देम एंड गॉट मेनी इनसाइट्स फ्रॉम देम। एंड फार्मासिस्ट तो सबसे इजी था इंटरेक्ट करना।
Yeah.
फार्मासिस्ट तो दुकान में ही बैठे होते हैं एंड दे गिव यू द टाइम, आई वुड से। ऐसा
Yeah.
नहीं है कि दे वोंट गिव यू द टाइम, 2 मिनट 5 मिनट तो देंगे आपको। एंड इतनी सारी दुकानें हैं, एक दुकान टाइम नहीं दे रहा है, दूसरे में जाओ, you will get some insights from them, and these will be marketing or sales based insights. Nurse, plastic surgeons and all the doctors that I met वो scientific insights दे रहे थे, but pharmacists actually sales और marketing वाले insight दे रहे थे, तो वो हमारे लिए भी काफी काम का था। देन दिस स्लाइड वाज कि हाउ टू रीच. अगर मैंने मैप कर लिया कि हाँ अपॉर्चुनिटी है, लेट्स से ऑर्थोपेडिक सर्जन के पास अपॉर्चुनिटी है, तो मैं उनको रीच कैसे करूं, वो कैसा कंटेंट प्रेफर कर रहे हैं, क्या गवर्नमेंट हॉस्पिटल्स में ज्यादा लोग ऑनलाइन प्रेफर कर रहे हैं, प्राइवेट हॉस्पिटल्स में जर्नल रीडिंग प्रेफर कर रहे हैं, या कैसे मैं उनको रीच करूं, किस टाइप के डॉक्टर को कैसे रीच किया जाए टू सेल आर prescription.
Product.
That is our main thing. These were some of the interaction anecdotes which I would say while meeting
Yes.
various nurses and doctors from various cities. So this was my final recommendation that we should go ahead with the gynae surgeons because they were the most important who had a huge market for TBACT. So this was the go no go slide. And also there were various insights on how to approach them as we saw from the last slide. And as I mentioned quite a while ago, the stakeholders. ये सारे stakeholders से I had a lot of interactions. They were various senior leaders also, FLPs also, peers also, and various ABMs from the various cities also. And then again, learnings and challenges as you were asking. The challenges as you asked, I'll just read through. So interacting with multiple stakeholders at one point of time. आपको एक ही टाइम देंगे, but बहुत सारे लोगों से मिलना होगा. बहुत सारे
Yeah.
लोगों से बहुत डिफरेंट काइंड्स ऑफ डेटा मिलता है, उनको मैप करके आप अपने प्रोजेक्ट के अकॉर्डिंग क्या डेटा काम का है निकाल के इनसाइट देना एक चैलेंज था. फिर लिमिटेड फार्मास्यूटिकल हेल्थ केयर नॉलेज कमिंग फ्रॉम द मैकेनिकल बैकग्राउंड एंड ओपीडी आवर्स में डॉक्टर्स को मिलना. दिस इज वेरी स्पेसिफिक टू अ फार्मा कंपनी आई वुड से, क्योंकि डॉक्टर्स आर
Yes.
ऑलवेज बिजी एंड दे डोंट हैव द टाइम. सो यही था. एंड लर्निंग्स में आई वुड से जस्ट अटेंशन टू डिटेल बहुत जरूरी है इन जस्ट मेकिंग द पीपीटी ऑल्सो, इन मेकिंग द क्वेश्चन एयर, in speaking to various people and all those things, collaboration, time management, presentation and communication as Anand also just mentioned. Yeah, so this was my final review PPT.
Actually, I mean, thank you for actually sharing this PPT with us.
Right.
It's gonna definitely gonna help a lot of candidate over there. And I have few more questions. Then after we will summarize the entire discussion. The first question is like, in an organization that is like self-driven, there is nobody to mentor you or guide you. Are there? How do you make the connection over there? This question is from I am Calcutta.
इंटेंट एक सिंगल वर्ड आंसर है. आप अगर इंटेंट दिखाओगे काम करने का, पीपीओ लेने का, आपका इंटरेस्ट दिखाओगे कंपनी में अच्छे से, अपने प्रोएक्टिवनेस दिखाने का, मतलब लेट्स से द अदर पर्सन इज नॉट एक्सपेक्टिंग थिंग्स फ्रॉम यू बट यू कम अप कि आई हैव डन दिस, तो वो ऑब्वियसली हेल्प करेंगे. देर आर कंपनीज, देर आर पीपल इन द लाइक आई हैव फ्रेंड्स फ्रॉम वेरियस अदर ऑर्गेनाइजेशंस जिनके कंपनीज में इंटरेक्शन विद गाइड्स एंड मेंटर्स बहुत डिफिकल्ट था. बट देन अगेन अगर आप अपने काम को अच्छे से दिखा पाओगे तो नेक्स्ट पर्सन भी हेल्प करेगा. दैट इज द ओनली थिंग विच आई कैन से फ्रॉम हियर इज कि इंटेंट बहुत क्लियर होना चाहिए.
Yes. And the next question is next two three questions is from I am Snow. That is, uh, what do they expect? What do company expect from intern in this just 2 months of internship? And what do they expect and how they convert it in a PPO?
सो दिस ऑल्सो आई डिड मेंशन. सो इन 2 महीनों में आप कोई लेजेंडरी रिजल्ट नहीं दे सकते. आई वुड से
Yes.
इवन इफ यू गिव अ वेरी इंसाइटफुल रिकमेंडेशन, नो, इट इज अ 90% चांस जो जिसको आप रेकमेंड कर रहे हो उसे वो चीज पहले से ही पता है. 100%. सो द वे यू वर्क, द वे यू अप्रोच, आपका डेली का एटीट्यूड, आप कैसे इंटरेक्ट कर रहे हो उनसे, बाकी लोगों से, कितना प्रोएक्टिवली आप चीजों को देख रहे हो, कि इट इज लाइक योर आई वुड से अकाउंटेबिलिटी और ओनरशिप which defines your PPO.
Actually, yes. And we have a few more questions. That is like you have already talked about, in the tech skills and soft skills. Soft skills is very much important. And now, tell us about, do intern have really, have to talk with the company before and like I need a PPO, or they should wait for it?
So I would say this is a very company specific question. काफी companies ऐसे होते हैं जो actually would want the person to come up and say कि हाँ I want to work for your organization, and then only they would consider you for giving a PPO. But let's say GSK specific, if I would say, they were very clear about it after the final review. So I guess around 35 people were there for the final review, out of which around 16-17 people gave the next round, which was ILT with the Indian leadership team. So I would say that was a CPI round only. सो वो क्लियर ही हो गया
Yes.
कि इन लोगों को मिलना था. एंड देन उन आईएलटी वाले लोगों से भी 2-3 लोगों को शायद हटा के अराउंड 15 पीपल गॉट द पीपीओ. सो जीएसके में काफी डिफाइंड पाथ था. आई वुड से बिकॉज इट इज सच एन ओल्ड ऑर्गेनाइजेशन, 300 years of history, all the policies, all the procedures are very aptly in place. So that is one thing. But then again, you can be interning in an organization where the policies are not such well defined. So you do have to show your intent कि आपको हाँ चाहिए पीपीओ. Because then again, practical baat bole to there are people from the top notch colleges like Ahmedabad who would come for an internship and would not want a PPO, right? Because they would want to sit for the final placements. So the company is also in a doubtful and confused state, right? तो आपको clear करना ही पड़ेगा अगर आपको चाहिए.
You have to show your intent actually that yes, I am interested in working with you. So that's gonna be another priority. And what should a student focus on in the second year? What should be their priority? That's the question from I'm Sambalpur.
Right. So इसको दो parts में divide करते हैं. If you have got a PPO second year, then gets obviously a lot more chill. You can then focus upon upskilling. You can learn the skills that you always wanted to learn, which an MBA professional should learn. You can always focus on things like personal finance, health and fitness, family and friends, and upskilling, right? But then again, if you have your final placements on the go, then you have to prepare a lot for the type of companies that you are looking forward to apply to and looking forward to get selected in. And apart from all this, case competitions is something which you can focus upon in your entire 2 years, not just first or second year. There are various business competitions which Anand you would have also participated, and they give a lot of learning opportunity. The competition is fierce. You can always show the winnings later in your due course of time to the interviewers. It will create a very big impact.
Yes. And on the part of where we have left off the question that yes, what advice would you offer to an MBA student who is preparing for internship or aiming to secure a PPO?
Right. Uh, Proactiveness. One thing you have to. It is your project. The company has given it to you, but they don't expect that the results that you will bring in will create a lot of impact. But if you tell that yes, it is my project and I care about it more than any one of you, and I want to make out something of this project that आपको भी organization को भी एक real impact हो, तो वो एक always है. Second thing is in marketing projects, many of us don't see the implementation part. काफी बार आपके project charter में the implementation part is not even given. You will say कि you have to do this, you have to do this, you have to do a research, etc., etc., etc. Design this, design an STP, design a GTM, etc. But last week को अगर आप रखो ना for implementation part, then you can say that in your final review also कि जो भी मैंने recommend किया, मैंने उसको implement करके भी देखा, उससे 20% improvement आया turnaround time में, 20% increase हुआ customer base या reach बढ़ा 30% या whatever. ऐसा चीजें अगर आप implement करके proof देते हो कि हाँ जो मैंने recommend किया उससे फायदा हो रहा है, so that is a huge brownie point, huge.
Yes, actually, you have to show them like even if they have asked as you have done it. Actually, they have just suggested you to meet with the pharmacists and nurses and plastic surgeon, and you took that suggestion. You went there and talked to these guys. That's always gonna create a brownie point actually.
Right, right.
Yes, and with that, we are at the end of our discussion, and there's a little bit of a video lagging here, but still let's continue. Yes. Anyway, yes. So with that, I would again like to thank you, Amit, for joining us here and sharing a whole lot of experience and insights and expertise that you have shared with us. You have shared your PPT, PPO winning PPT of GSK Pharma. That is there. You can always have a look of it. And thank you so much for joining us. If you guys have any comment or question that you want to ask Amit, you want to ask me, I can always reach Amit through phones. So do drop those questionnaires in a comment. I will definitely reply to your comments. And that's all from our side. See you guys in the next upcoming video. Might be from Marico, might be from ITC. Let's see. So see you guys in the next video. Bye bye. Jai Hind.
Thank you so much, Anand.